about Sonos new speakers, the Era 100 and the Era 300. And you've probably already seen my gaming room and the Sonos setup right over here. So we have a Beam 2nd generation, a Sonos Sub Mini under the couch, and we have two Sonos One SL as rear speakers. But now Sonos has released two new speakers and they are really incredible. We have the Era 100, which is supposed to be an upgrade over the Sonos One, and we have the Era 300, which really promises full spatial audio. So in today's video, we're going to have a closer look at the Era 100 and Era 300, do a quick comparison between both speakers as standalone speakers, and then also talk about using them in a home cinema system. Because I'm not quite sure yet if I should upgrade to the Era 100 as rear speakers or the Era 300. But let's go and let's find it out. Alright, now before we have a closer look at the technical specifications, let's unpack them. And as you can see, there's already a pretty big difference in size between the Era 100 and the Era 300. So let's have a closer look at the Era 100 now. And as we know from Sonos, pretty premium package, and there we go. So first of all, comes here with the user manual, and then you can already pull out the speaker. And now the first impression, just looking at my Sonos One SL right now, the form factor is kind of different. Now they are longer, they appear to be bigger, and when we come to the technical specifications, you will see why they have this shape. So all of them, they come wrapped here in this bag, and I've got the white version right over here, looking really beautiful. But let's put it aside and let's get out the Era 300 to see the difference in size. And already this package looks a little bit different. There's something to pull off here, and then you unlock the package. And the same on this side right over here. And okay, now I guess it slides out. And guys, this is a really massive Sonos speaker. So let's get it out of the bag. So this thing is really huge compared here to the Sonos Era 100. Now first of all, let's have a closer look at the Sonos Era 100. And the one thing that I'm most hyped about is that those speakers finally have Bluetooth. So the Era 300 also has Bluetooth, which opens up so many opportunities which have never been before there with Sonos products. Of course, Sonos had some speakers that supported also Bluetooth connection, but for instance not the Sonos One, and this is a replacement for the Sonos One, so it's pretty amazing. Even as a standalone speaker, once it's set up over Wi-Fi connection, actually other people can just come and connect to the speaker and play music. And also the connection to other devices, there are plenty of opportunities. Now what is new is we have a Type-C connector at the back. Now this also opens a lot of opportunities. For instance, there is a 3.5mm input, but you need an adapter for that, so a Type-C to 3.5mm adapter. There's also a combined adapter that combines Ethernet plus 3.5mm if you want to connect it via a wired network connection. But those connectors are sold separately and they are not really that cheap. And conventional 3.5mm adapters to Type-C, they will not work with Sonos products. Also, next to the Type-C port, there's a little sliding switch to disable the microphone, because all of those speakers, they have voice assistant built in. We'll come to that a bit later on. And also there's now a pairing button because, well, it supports Bluetooth connectivity. Now what's also new are the controls at the top. So we finally have a slider here to adjust the volume. Now in other Sonos products you had to tap the capacitive touch button to increase or decrease the volume, but with the slider it's much more convenient and very intuitive to just adjust the volume. But still there are capacitive touch buttons for play and pause and to switch between the tracks. And also those speakers have voice assistant built in, that's why there is the microphone and other microphones along here at the top. And if we have a closer look at the bottom of the Sonos Era 100, we also have a tripod mount and the connection here for power. And here's a little outlet to route the cable. Of course, there are also wall mounts. Now I got some aftermarket wall mounts for my Sonos One SL, but also here for the Sonos Era 100 and the 300, you can get wall mounts directly from Sonos. Now talking about the Era 300, let's have a closer look at this massive speaker. Now comparing the Sonos Era 300 to the Era 100, this is a really big size difference, as you will see, because there is plenty of tech inside, as you will see a bit later. Now, when it comes to the controls, it's actually the same controls like on the Era 100. So we have that new slider, we have the capacitive touch buttons, and also here the microphone. And looking here at the rear, as you can see, there is the connector for power. There is also the microphone switch, same like on the Era 100. There's also the Type-C connection, which you can use with the adapters. And also it has Bluetooth built in, so there's a Bluetooth pairing button. Now, that's basically everything, but also here, as you can see, because it's a quite heavy speaker, there are two tripod mounts here at the bottom, which are probably also used for the wall mounts. All right, and that's everything. And now let's have a closer look inside of the Sonos speakers to see the actual differences. Spatial audio has been in the spotlight in recent years, featuring in Dolby Atmos soundtracked movies, TV shows, and now even music. It has turned into a catch-all term that covers any music that uses the Dolby Atmos format to create multiple channels of audio to deliver a greater sense of immersion. Spatial audio playback is the Era 300's focal point. This includes a carefully considered but unusual arrangement of drivers and amplification that can fire out sound in all directions to deliver that immersive audio experience. Inside the Era 300 are 6 drivers. 4 tweeters, 1 forward firing, 2 side firing, 1 upward firing, and 2 woofers angled to the left and right for stereo playback. These are complemented by custom waveguides that help direct sound out forwards, upwards, left and right to surround you with the music. Each of the 6 drivers is also powered by its own Class D amplifier. That upward firing tweeter is also Dolby Atmos specified. It's loaded into a directional horn and designed to reflect sound off the ceiling when playing Dolby Atmos music. When setting up the Era 300, Sonos suggests you to leave at least 20 cm from the wall, and you can also adjust the level of the height channel in the app settings too. The Era 300 can also be used as Dolby Atmos surround speakers, delivering multi-channel rears for the first time. These can be used with the Sonos Arc and the Beam 2nd generation soundbars and sub to create a maximum 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos home theater experience. Now the Era 100. One of the biggest changes for the Era 100 is that it delivers stereo sound. The one was mono only. Inside are 2 angled tweeters with custom waveguides alongside a woofer that's 25% bigger than before. Now Sonos says that it should deliver detailed stereo separation and also deeper bass. All the 3 drivers are also powered by their own Class D amplifier as well, and in my opinion the new Era 100 sounds louder and more powerful than the old model. Overall, those are great choices for surrounds, but let's see how to set them up and let's have a closer look. Now once it's connected to power, all you have to do is just get your smartphone and open up the Sonos application. So in there, you will actually see already add your Era 300 because it detects it automatically. So you don't need to search for a Bluetooth connection or whatever, just open up the app and there you go. Now we add the speaker, so allow microphone access so your mobile device can detect nearby products. Okay, continue. So just had to give the permission and it's getting the Era 300 ready right now. Discovering your Era 300 and it found it. So that's cool. So it basically used the microphone and the sound from the speaker to detect it. And it's connecting it now automatically to my pre-configured network because I already have the Sonos system. So we'll just add it automatically. Now you can choose the room. So I will try to add it now to the gaming room where I already have my setup. And it's adding it to the gaming room. And now there's a firmware update. All right, after the firmware update, it's time for the True Play tuning, which basically uses the microphones of your iPhone because it doesn't work on Android devices to improve the sound quality. So it really measures the sound in your room and adjusts the speaker to the best audio quality. Now we can start it right now. This is not the final placement, but just to demonstrate how it works. So I'll just go to continue. And also finally Sonos made True Play possible on the iPhone 14. So a few months ago, I think it was not possible yet, but it works now. And there we go, let's get started. So we'll do the quick tuning just for demonstration. And let's begin the tuning. Wow, and even in the True Play tuning with the sound at the end, you already hear how powerful this speaker is. It's crazy.
Well, this was the quick TruePlay tuning, but what does it actually do? Now, Sonos TruePlay is designed to allow you to put any Sonos speaker wherever you want. Now, you could place a Sonos Era 100 behind a curtain or an Era 300 in a cupboard. Now, it's not really recommended, but the idea behind that is that it shouldn't matter. The TruePlay software will analyze all the acoustic factors that might impact the speaker's sound quality, such as room size, layout, and the speaker placement itself, and then adjust it to get the most out of it. The quick tuning option uses the built-in microphones in the Era speakers to measure the test sounds emitted during a shorter tuning process. For now, quick tuning is only available on Era speakers. But guys, this finally gives Android users the opportunity to tune their speakers, as the advanced tuning relies on the iPhone's microphones to tune it. And this of course only works on iOS devices. However, in advanced TruePlay tuning, the Sonos app will prompt you to start tuning, and after following the steps, it will emit a series of test sounds. These sounds are made up of 3 properties: brown noise, pulse sounds that allow for echoes, and a sweep of frequencies. The microphone in your iOS device detects how these sounds react to the room you're in by measuring how the sound waves reflect off the walls, furniture, glass, and other surfaces, and then a combination of equalize and filtering techniques are created by the TruePlay software to correct these frequencies, so the music sounds the way the artist intended it to the following tuning process. Overall, personally for me, the quick tuning already sounded great, but I think advanced tuning might be more accurate in some situations.
Alright, the Era 300 is now added to my gaming room. While you can just group those to play music, it doesn't work to use a single speaker to add it to your cinema system. Now, a Sonos system consists basically of the soundbar, 2 rear speakers, and I think up to 2 subwoofers. So if you plan on getting the Sonos Era as rear speaker or addition to your home cinema, you need to keep in mind that you need 2 of them to set them up as surrounds. And this can get quite expensive with the Era 300, but if you're looking for a cheaper upgrade to your Sonos home cinema system and you just want more powerful sound, then the Sonos Era 100 is a pretty good choice to replace, for instance, your Sonos One. But with the Era 300, as you can see, if I just go into the app and if I try to set it up as a stereo pair, then it will actually tell me that 2 compatible Sonos speakers are required. So you just need to keep that in mind, because this was one of the most asked questions I found on Reddit. Other than that, let's have a quick look on the Era 300, what you can actually do there. So let's go back. Here's the Era 300, and we have the equalizer built in, and it's quite powerful, so I didn't feel the need like increasing the bass, using it as a single speaker to listen to music, but also you can adjust bass and treble right over here, and also loudness. TruePlay tuning we already did before, and also there is one setting in there which you will not find on the Era 100, and this is spatial music, because the Era 100 doesn't support spatial audio, but here the 300 supports it, and there's also a switch to switch it on or off. And other than that, you can also configure the voice assistant if you want to, and yeah, you can turn off the status light, and if you want to, you can also turn off the touch controls. Alright, that's basically how the Era 300 works, how to set it up, what you can figure in the app. But now let's listen to the device for a quick sound check.
Now, sound moves around you in 3-dimensional space with breathtaking audio quality. It brings the on-screen action alive and immerses you in every moment. Whether the soundscape sets the mood of a scene, or captures the full extent
Do you want to know my secret?
of nature's fury.
Welcome to Dolby Atmos. Please put on your headphones. It's a new way to experience sound. Unlike stereo, which is limited to 2 audio channels, Dolby Atmos can manipulate individual sounds in 3D space to position sounds all around you. sounds can move above you, far away, or right up close. Let's compare. This is stereo. And this is Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos can build worlds of sound to tell any story. It catches all the little details, puts you in the center of the action. It sounds just like the real world. And transports you to faraway lands. Go inside the story with breakthrough sound. Dolby Atmos.
Use for the Sonos Era 300, but for me this is a killer use case. So we have a kind of DIY home cinema system here in my bedroom, and my wife complains constantly about this utterly bad sound quality from this projector. Now, as the Era 300 has Bluetooth connection, it just really makes sense to me to connect the Fire Stick over Bluetooth to the Sonos speaker and just improve the audio quality. So this room is also quite high, and basically the room filling experience of the Era 300 would be a great upgrade. So let's try it out. Now here comes the magic. The Fire Stick supports Bluetooth connection, and that means you can add Bluetooth speakers, but I haven't found a Bluetooth speaker that actually has enough power to fill the room. So we now go to add Bluetooth devices, and we go over to the Sonos Era 300 and we press the pairing button. It now lights up, so it should be in pairing mode. And as you can see, the Sonos Era 300 just shows here up to pair it. And let's pair the device. And oh yes, it is working. So there's finally nice sound from the projector. Now I know it's not the intended use to use Sonos products, but this is an overlooked feature of Bluetooth Sonos speakers, because with that you can basically make everything or transform everything into a cinema setup. And guys, this is just incredible. It works really well and there is almost no latency, so it is really the perfect speaker to upgrade any devices like also projectors where you don't have any HDMI ARC connection or line in, or you don't want to put a cable to get a cinema experience. So this is one of the absolute killer use cases where I can use the Era 300. Well, we're now here at the end of this video and let's get to my final conclusion. So to be honest, I really liked both of the speakers. The Era 100 is great, the Era 300 is great, but I think the use case is quite different. So if you want to have the full spatial audio experience, including Dolby Atmos, and you have a quite big room like this one, 30 square meters with really high ceiling, then it really makes sense to get a pair of the 300 as rear speakers. But you need to consider that you need two of them in order to implement them into a home cinema system, which can be a bit pricier upgrade. Now the Sonos Era 100 does not support spatial audio, does not support Dolby Atmos, but is still a great speaker, and it's way more punchier also in terms of bass compared to the Sonos One SL I have right over here. So personally, for me, if I really want to have Dolby Atmos, I would go for two 300 as rear speakers, but also that speaker is really underrated for using it as a single speaker because it just sounds great. It can even fill my whole bedroom, so it also really makes sense to use an Era 300, for instance, as a single speaker to listen to music. And some people also use the 3.5mm to Type-C adapter to listen to vinyls from their vinyl player or whatever. So it's a great speaker for not only listening to music, but also implementing it into a home cinema system to get Dolby Atmos. And the Era 100 I would really recommend right now if you don't have surrounds and you want to upgrade your home cinema system for a lower price, but still get a really great sound quality. Overall, nice products. I'm so happy that there is finally Bluetooth support, which gives you a lot of opportunities. There's Bluetooth 5.0, Wi-Fi 6, so those speakers are not the cheapest ones on the market, but they have now plenty of options how to connect them, and the sound quality from Sonos, as we know, is always great. Alright guys, that's it. If you want to have more information, I'll leave you some links down below in the description and also where to get them. They're available in white or black. I personally love my speakers in white, but if you want to, there's also black option, so make sure to check it out. And if you have any more questions how they sound or compared to other Sonos products, then make sure to write them down below in the comments. As always guys, I'm Steven from Tech Magnet and I'm signing out. Bye.